I'm struggling, y'all. Okay. Now you can hear me. I'm struggling. It's Friday. I've been talking to you guys for way too long. Yes. So I'm not frozen anymore. I shouldn't be frozen. It's just, there we go. Ciao. Sorry about that. I had the mute button hit because who knows what was going to be happening. All right, but now we're ready. I'm your legal bestie, Attorney Simone. I am an attorney that is based out of Texas, but I can assist you with legal matters across America. I'm actually barred in 3 states, Texas, New York, and New Jersey, although my licenses in New York and New Jersey are not active because I haven't taken cases there in a minute. But thanks for coming back. This morning, we watched part 1 of Relly's cross-examination. I shouldn't say part 1. It's actually part 2 because they started yesterday. And we were over here just cutting up, y'all, in the chat. I think you guys are like the most entertaining group chat to watch this goofy little trial with. So thank you for that. Awesome. Okay, good. I'm glad you can hear me now. I had to accidentally hit the mute button. So yeah, I was saying, I hope they can wrap up with him before 4 p.m. California time because I got something to do. I'm working on getting me a social life. Y'all, I'm going to get me a man this year. And now I want to be somebody's second wife. Okay. I'm going to be a good second wife. Real good. I want somebody who done been through something. That way my effervescence, my wildness, it won't be too much for him because it's tempered. I'm not going to bust your windows. You might come home one day and all the furniture has been rearranged and relocated to my new house if you're cutting up. But in the meantime, so we got this goofy little trial going on. I want to hear from you guys in the chat. Those who watched this morning, what did you hear this morning that you found to be one of the most poignant, that made you lean one way or another? Maybe you were leaning one way and then you heard something. You're like, well, I don't know. I'll tell you what it was for me. Earlier today, when I'm going to call him Topo Chico because that's easy. Topo Chico, that's this drink that we drink here in Texas. This little Mexican like sparkling water with a hint of lime or lemon. It's so Topo Chico, which is Rocky's lawyer, was cross-examining Relly and asked him, you said that you knew it was a gun. You were asked earlier how you knew it was a gun. How did you know it was a real gun? And he said, because I saw it. And they said, okay, that's what it is. Because you saw it. That's how you knew it was a real gun. He said, yeah, because I saw it. So was there any other way, any other thing that made you believe it was a real gun? He said, because he shot. I think he said, because he shot me. Because he shot at me. Because he shot at me. So anything else? And then the lawyer goes, well, you never mentioned the shell casings. See, if I was asked why I thought something was a real gun and I found the shell casings as you allegedly have, I'd say, well, I know it's a real gun because I found the shell casings. He was like, oh, yeah, well, that too. For me, I was like, ooh, everybody go home. Come on, wrap it up, pack it up, time to go. That was a big one. I also love when he asked, why did you follow Rocky? See, I peep, let me put that on here. I peeped the why did you follow him because I'm still mad about the Jonathan Majors case. Only way Jonathan was found guilty was because that was a little sweet, little innocent Caucasian girl that jury felt sorry for. And because he did not get into evidence, the evidence of the injuries that she caused to him. Also, I thought it was strange that in that case, they didn't argue theft, that she stole his phone and his credit cards, and that any injury she sustained is while he was preventing her from committing that theft. Anyway, but my point about the Jonathan Majors trial is that we saw he was running away from her for blocks and she continued to chase him, which said to me, she's no victim and she's not in any fear. Similarly here, Relly says he acknowledges that after being shot at and after seeing one of the guys pull what he thought was a knife, he ran after them. Hana. As somebody not just shoots at me, but shoots at my hand that is now bleeding and grazed from the shot, and I see he's got a buddy with him with a knife, I'm not running after you guys, because what am I going to do when I get here? Not only do I not have a weapon, I don't have a fully functioning hand if I've suffered the injuries that you're referencing. I'm not understanding it. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. Can I help a Canadian sister with legal advice? You know what? I wouldn't want to waste your time. If it's pertaining to something that happened in Canada, girl, I don't have a clue. I wouldn't know where to start. But if you happen to be Canadian and something that happened to you in America, I got you. All right. Where y'all tuning in from while we're waiting? I need them to wrap up with Relly today. I feel like he has to be wrapping up with this guy. What more is there to ask him? They also asked him about the fact that he claimed that he came back and found the shell casings with his girlfriend. They showed the tape and had him identify himself on the tape. Then they asked him, here's the other thing, y'all. They asked Relly, on this tape, where are you? And he pointed to himself. And then they said, okay, and your girlfriend was there too, huh? And he said, yeah, she came with me. She was looking. They said, okay, how close was she to you? And he said, how many yards? The other day, he was measuring things in skips, like 3 skips. And the judge was like, what is a skip? How far is a skip? Like, give us some context, please. But in this instance, he said, like, she was, 5 feet away from him, or whatever the number of feet. If she had, in fact, been there, she should have been visible on the camera. She should have been visible on the footage. But no, that footage, you see, he is the only one there. Well, what's been interesting is this whole trial, he has been trying to estimate what the lawyer is trying to get at, and then answer questions to prevent him from getting there. That don't work, buddy boy. That's not how this works. That ain't gonna fly, honey baby. Because these lawyers, it's a strategy to it. Like, you build it up. It's like stacking up. It's like engineering. He didn't see it coming. So when the guy had asked him, how close was your girlfriend? He wasn't thinking, that's because they're going to be able to use it to find out or pace or explain why they think you're lying, because she wasn't in the screen. Angela said, really needs a Band-Aid, a blankie, and a nap. Yeah, this is a goofy little trial, y'all. Oh my gosh. Where are all the good men at? I don't know. I started with funerals. Okay, True Hebrew. I'm so sorry you lost your husband. Now, I don't know what age range he is, but baby, let me tell you something. To the ladies in your late 30s and your 40s, where you need to go is these funerals. Baby. These funerals, baby. My homeboy, his wife passed, bless his soul, okay? And he was a Kappa. He's a handsome Kappa, and he was a Stanford Kappa. Those are some of my favorite. So when I found out, I said, okay, when's the repast gonna be and everything? Baby, I scheduled my makeup appointment. I was decked out. I said, I'm about to leave here with a Kappa, and did. So that's where you need to go, guys, because those men there at them funerals, they're vulnerable. I'm so sorry. And you're like, how did you know each other? You guys were Lime brothers. Oh my gosh. What's one of your favorite stories about him? And then you feel bonded. He feels bonded. He can be vulnerable with you. What I'm telling you, go to them funerals and get you a man, ladies. Go. I'll come with you. Now I started going like, but there's a sweet spot. This is not for like 60-year-olds. True Hebrew. I'm sorry. I don't know. Oh gosh. I don't know when your partner that I'm talking, the sweet spot you want is one of those people that pass by in their late 30s. We of course about to be back in session. Hold on. Sorry. Hold on. We're back. Hold on. I'm full of lots of good dating advice, and this is just one of many. Hold on. Okay, here we go. We're still sharing it. About to get started. What the hell? I keep saying resume shortly, but it appears. Well, I'm looking at it. Hold on, guys. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. This is an older one. All right, we're on the same page. Okay, we're still waiting. Just making sure. All right, back to how to meet a man at a funeral. Okay, I got this down pat, guys. Hold on. All right. Hold on. Back to how to do. Okay, so what you want to do? No, nothing's going on in court yet. We are still waiting. I refresh and everything. What you want to do is you want to get a sweet spot. You want guys who are like, if the person that passed, especially if it's like a woman. So maybe it's like, in my case, it was my homeboy's wife. All his frat brothers came to town and then I scooped it up there. Then one of my homeboys, he passed. He was like 40, 41. And he has a lot of handsome friends. So I went back on it. Oh, Court TV. Okay, hold on. Court TV. I was hearing the sound. No, this is the Court TV page. They're still waiting. Here. Yeah, Court TV is still waiting too. And then Law and Crime is still waiting. So both of them are still waiting. Yeah, I have them both up. I was hearing a sound. I heard a sound. Here, I'll share it. This is the Court TV tab that we're just waiting for him to get going. The jurors hate this. It says, will they come back up? Yeah. So we've got this one. Yeah, Law and Crime is not back yet. We should have it in this time. I wish that they would like give it more of a second before they get started. It's almost like they walk in and they're just like, boom. Because we don't want to miss nothing because we nosy. Anyway, y'all want any tips on how to meet a good man at a funeral? I got you. Baby, all them, and I was like, oh, tell me about your line brother. Oh, yes, it was so cool. And at the one funeral where my homeboy, he's like in his 40s, he had everybody wear their sneakers. So it was like he had some really handsome friends, and all of them were vulnerable. Oh. And then I was like, hey, James brought us together, right? Like, it's meant to be. And guys, they would really be thinking about that. He'd be like, I said, I know James always wanted you to have a good woman. And, he always told me he was going to hook me up with one of his friends. Now look at him. Look at him do it from heaven. Making him think I'm heaven sent. I am heaven sent. Sometimes I do things that are a little hellish, but I am heaven sent. All right. Somebody said if there's a Twitter feed. No, there's not. Yeah. Terella's Star says Simone's dating courses. Hold on. Wait. Simone's dating courses, module 1. Girl, get you a funeral boo. That is exactly what I called him. I called him Funeral Bae. Yeah, and I met him. It was like right after I called off my wedding. Literally, he was the first guy I met after I called off my wedding. And he happened to be CFO of like a very of a website you guys are all very, very familiar with. I won't say what. He was like CFO. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you, girl. I was like, oh, Kiana sent me this man from heaven. Right when she got up there, she sent me this man. So I was like, oh my gosh, I left my ex-fiance because he's financially irresponsible. And God just gave me a CFO who is going to be financially responsible. And he was financially responsible. Only problem with him was he was a crack baby, and you could tell. So he would do absolutely ridiculous things. I'll make it into a story time. But yeah, he was a crack baby, and you could tell. There's nothing wrong with being a crack baby because you can't help that. But the you can tell part, I was like, sir, you're 44. I think it's time for therapy. And he was like, I don't need therapy. Therapy doesn't work. You crack baby, you need all of the therapy. And it should be free. Thank you, boo. Thank you, Tati. Yeah, I don't think he's gonna do any better today. I am dating. I'm ready to start. I haven't found anybody interesting, but I'm open to it. They get on my nerves. Is anyone live tweeting? Good question. There is one page. Here we go. The Black Letter Law. We're back day 5. That was 3 hours ago. Let me see. Make sure I haven't missed an update. FYI, camera. Oh, okay. 2 minutes ago, they said. I'm going to share this with you guys. It says cameras are off right now. Topo Chico is asking Relly to identify an image from his IG account. Relly identifies himself at a gun range with 9mm Glocks. Oh my gosh. Y'all, let me put this on the screen bigger. Y'all need to see them, not me. Y'all. Let me just reread that. Sheesh. The cameras are intentionally off because I guess they probably don't want to put he doesn't like it when his Instagram gets put up there. Relly doesn't. It says cameras are off right now. Topo Chico is asking Relly to identify an image from his Instagram account. Relly identifies himself at a gun range with 9mm Glocks. The image is from 12/2023 in Florida. Damn, this might be case closed. Hold on, let me bring this home to you. Let me just pull that together. Okay, so that's from December 2023. So what the inference is that the jury could choose to bring, the inference is that it could have been casings from his own gun, from his own 9mm gun, 9mm Glock, where he took his own casings and turned them into the cops. Baby, it's finna be case closed. Baby. What do y'all think? Angela said that's where the casings came from. Yara Rose said wasting tax money. Y'all said this ninja. Purple Passion Evolving said in his Urkel voice, did I do that? Girl. Whoa. Yes. Oh yeah, I mean, said born in the 80s. Yes, that's exactly what I used to think about when he would act a fool. I'm going to talk about my funeral bay. He absolutely could have used his own casings. And the time frame was this photo from his. See, that's why Instagram, this is why us lawyers say, I'm not going to take your case unless you're like that kind of guy. I'd be like, you got to get off social media completely. But his social media from December. So this happened 2021. So it doesn't mean that he had that same pow. I'm using those words for YouTube purposes. It doesn't mean he had that same pow back in November, but it doesn't matter close enough. It doesn't matter close enough. Ooh, child. Now we are seeing why ASAP Rocky did not take that deal. Now we're seeing it, guys. It's starting to make sense now. Angela Nichols Porter said case over. Nikki said Brian was a crack baby. He came out okay. Definitely didn't know that. See, you can be okay. What he needed was therapy. I think all that crack washed out of his system. We talking about my funeral babe going back. All that crack washed out of his. I mean, he was brilliant. He graduated from a top school with both his undergrad and an MBA with like a top 3 business school in the world, or top 5, whatever it is. I won't say which one because everybody know who he is. Because if you ever met him, you'd be like, oh, here we go. Action.
Parties and counsel are present. Mr. Efron is on the stand. And Mr. Tacopina, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Ron. Mr. Efron, at the preliminary hearing last November 20th, 2023, you were asked questions regarding whether you own firearms. Do you recall that? Being asked those questions? Okay.
I think the cameras were off because they were trying to make sure that the information was going to be admissible. That's usually why.
Zoom in on it. Okay, page 113.
All right, hold on.
Or they didn't want to show his social media on the screen to the whole world. Yes, they do.
Did you get that, Mark? Did I even say it?
Yeah.
They do have one. The day before trial started, they actually tried to get another one added. Yeah, girl, that's called. Yep, that's perjury. It could happen, but it won't. It won't because they're
It
star
was line
witness.
13 earlier on, I guess.
It'd be like admitting that they picked a liar.
Can you say the question back again, please?
Mr. Efron, at the preliminary hearing last November 2023, you were asked questions regarding whether you own firearms. Do you recall that, being asked those questions?
My face is itchy. My face is itchy over here. It's real itchy. But I'm okay.
And what was he? What was
I don't recall.
this? If that was the question, and this is the answer, then that's fair game.
Are we talking about lines 9 and 10?
Yeah. Hold on, want me to go back up to line 5? That's some comments. Let's do
Just because I don't think 9 and 10 have anything to do with that.
I agree. Yeah, that's true.
Want to go up to 5?
All right. What has nothing to do with the question is what is asked and answered on line 10 and lines 10, 11, and 12.
Okay, how about this? We'll go back to maybe we'll leave 112, lines 11 through 13.
Much better.
Oh. Sorry, Stefan. November, what?
No. You're just look at the line. You said 2 what line? Okay.
Okay, preliminary hearing back in November 2023. Question, actually, Mr. Efron, let me clarify that. Did you ever possess a 9mm gun? Answered by you, I own a bunch of guns. So, I guess the question now again today is, do you own a 9mm?
I own a bunch of guns.
Right. Is one of those bunch of guns a 9mm?
It's just Chicago. Yeah, I guess it's a 9mm. I don't really know too much about guns. I only got it because I moved to Florida.
He said, "Do you own a 9mm?" He said, "I own a bunch of
And-
guns." What an idiot!
You posted a picture on your Instagram in December of 2022, before that hearing.
Your Honor, at this point, the question would be irrelevant, given that he's answered that he owns firearms.
I agree. You could part about 9
Yeah.
millimeters. All right. Ask that, let's hold off on the exhibit.
Okay.
The state does not want the Instagram picture in evidence. That's why they turn the cameras off.
He had a 9mm firearm. So the issue of the access is now been demonstrated.
He says he has a 9mm.
Okay. So you
Said he owns a
own
bunch of guns.
9mm Glock.
At least one of which is
Chicago.
9mm.
Glock.
It's just Chicago. I don't know the difference between a Glock. Glock is the name of a gun.
Yes.
No, it's just Chicago.
Okay.
Up now, the picture's gonna get into evidence.
I don't know the difference between what you're talking about. I just know it's
Your Honor, the people would stipulate, the court can take this notice that 9mm firearms are somehow had firearms. Court take this notice, have the stipulation. Absolutely.
Oh, this is bad.
You are not
For
wrong.
how long has he had the 9mm? That might be
Very. Well, you're interested now, that's not what I'm interested in something else. Could I ask a piece publicized and so forth?
Relly volunteered that he has a bunch of guns. Keep in mind, that was not the question. The question was, do you own a gun? He didn't. If he would have just shut up and said yes or no, versus I own a
Do
bunch.
not show it. You can ask him. And the question will call for a yes or a no.
Mr. Efron, have you published pictures of yourself with a 9mm.
You know what he means by publish?
Yeah. Like where on my Instagram?
Anywhere.
I guess so, yes.
All right. Now, let's move closer to the time of the incident.
Exactly. Shut up, sir.
6th
You
of
did that.
2021. A few weeks before November 6, 2021,
Great point, Jack Love.
and a few weeks before
Niece, we gonna have a good time, child.
testified that you found shell casings at the scene, 9mm shell casing. You fired 9mm weapons at a shooting range, correct?
Definitely not.
Definitely not.
You heard me, definitely not. I ain't own a firearm. I only got my firearm license a year and a half later, and I showed you that preliminary hearing. We went down this already.
Okay, so that would mean in October of 2021, October 19th to be specific, you definitely would not be shooting guns, including a 9mm semi-automatic at a firing range.
I don't know.
Well, no, you just said that.
The only relevant inquiry is whether he was firing a 9mm. He was firing 22s,
Yeah, I don't know.
45s, 24s.
No, you weren't.
No, it's
Okay,
Not, the question is limited to firing a 9mm.
was I firing 9mm?
That's what he's asking, in October of 21.
No. Like in a shooting range, he's not, like, I don't understand.
At all.
No.
here you are. With that, then, we're going to show a specific video from October 21st, 2021.
Woo!
Oh, sure.
Scott, no, you, no, what I said was, if something is gonna be shown to the jury, you have to share it amongst each other first.
So they've already, just so it's clear,
Stop,
they put up the video so that you.
it's not up there now.
Well, they saw it. It was-
They're gonna see it in a second.
I mean,
Calm down.
if it's got that poster.
Come on. Is there a way to look, can you look at it on the computer there?
Without going up there.
That would be nice.
He said that would be nice.
Let's let Mr.
Do you
Lewin
think
take a
that they
look.
would give me that?
And it looks like just weeks before the incident, they're gonna try and show a video of him shooting a weapon.
That we don't want you to do. I want you to do.
Why do I have to do that? Oh, if it's shown there, it'll show
I don't
there.
know. That's one thing, change. Hold on. Don't. Okay, we're good.
I don't have to do it?
No, you don't have to do it, so don't do it, please.
They getting sassy in there, baby. Yeah, the girls is fighting, the guys is fighting.
Let me just take a look. I'm sure I'm gonna have to take a look at it.
And Rocky just laughed. See, Rocky can laugh as long as other people are laughing. But the defendant can never laugh if they're the only person that's laughing in the courtroom. If the judge is laughing, if the jury's laughing, that's okay. I don't know why they're laughing. I couldn't hear the joke. If somebody knows what it was, tell us. Heartthrob, absolutely. But here's the thing. Yes, you can use one at the range, but you know what they have at the range? The range floor is covered with gun shell casing. So it also gives him exposure to be able to grab one up off the floor. Because what you're going to see later is that the state is going to introduce into evidence this report that said it could have been one of like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different types of guns, all being 9mm. So by them pinning down that he not only has access to a 9mm, but has been to a gun range where he literally could have just scooped some up in his hand and walked out with them, you can do that. Well, because remember, it's only about reasonable doubt that he had access to casing, that he could have walked into the police department. Because we never see on the video of him so-called coming back to the scene, we never see him bend down and pick up anything. Definitely not a casing. Now, it's not super clear, but it was clear enough to know that he said he came back with his girlfriend, that his girlfriend was within 5 feet of him, 10 feet of him. We never see her.
What is it that he said? He said he didn't fire 9mm.
What is he firing in the video in October 21?
Yes, he admitted he has guns, and he said he has a lot of guns. So all that needs to be established is distinction. Okay, here we go.
Is that him?
Got him.
Is that you?
Yeah.
He said, "Yep,
Thanks, sir.
finally." I thought he was gonna do it. I don't recall.
I don't know what I'm shooting. That's a fire. That's a range.
Okay. Well, first of all, you have to do the pictures of all. You have other photos.
Social media.
Mr. Efron, what you just told this jury.
I don't know what I'm doing 365 days out the year. I'm talking about.
Chill out, dude.
What you just told this jury was that before November 6, 2021, you didn't fire any guns,
He did say that.
but you didn't have the license. You didn't tell them that you
Should have said unless I went to a shooting range.
No, you said.
I just said that. But I'm not.
Okay, stop. All right, he's clarified, accepted a shooting range.
Oh.
Ask the next question.
Oh, now it's sorry. Oh, now it's except for the shooting range. You owe lying A B.
To the right.
And when's the date of this?
Oh, we'll do that in a second. Take a look at the gun to the right.
This was just weeks before the
That's
shooting.
not my gun. That's obviously a
Not
shooting
even a
range.
full month. Less than a month.
That's not my gun. That's a shooting range.
Okay. Is that the gun you used to shoot?
That's not my, what gun? To shoot who? What do you mean? At the shooting range?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
That's a
So,
9mm.
Well, guess what? He said, yes, what?
That gun you used to shoot at shooting range. So my question is, that gun to the right is the 9mm automatic, right?
I don't know.
You don't know,
I
okay.
don't know.
In the video, did you see shell casings ejecting backwards as you fired in the video we showed you? Did you see it? That's all I'm asking.
I guess. That's what it is.
I want you to guess. We'll watch it again. Go ahead.
That's what they do when you're in a shooting range. What's wrong with that?
Judge, you want to jump in or you want me to? I asked the question, do you see the shell casings being ejected?
And I said yes. It's a
He
shooting
said, he
range.
said yes.
No, he said that's what they do. What's wrong with that?
It's a shooting range. I don't.
All right, the answer is yes, you saw it.
Yes.
Oh,
Sandra, it's just Rocky hadn't taken the stand yet to lie. That's all.
the date, by the way, you asked for the date. We have a stipulation on the date.
Yes, what was the date again?
October 19th.
We have a stipulation.
October 19th, 2020. And where is this video taken? Yeah, it was a tape from his phone, he's right.
So we have a stipulation on that date, that this is outside of California, correct, counsel?
I don't know where it was taken.
Well,
He
Do
said
you know where that was taken, sir?
Is this the picture where you, let me see? I mean, if I got it off my phone, it should say. I don't know what it is.
You don't remember where you were?
I mean, I should have that. It's timestamp.
It is timestamp. We have the timestamp.
Timestamp, and it should show where.
what they're asking you is.
No, I don't know. I don't
Where
know.
is the right picture?
I don't know.
No, if he testifies, it will be last. Rocky will always go last.
It's
If
like
you
probably New Jersey or something like that, or like, I don't know, I don't wanna guess. It's not LA though.
Maybe New Jersey, but you don't know.
yeah, the witness we asked, does he know if it's in California or not?
Why did the witness said he doesn't know? He doesn't want to guess.
I wasn't in LA.
Can he be asked if it was in California, Your Honor?
You said he doesn't know it, maybe it was New Jersey. That's the answer. Ask another question.
Okay, take that down now, please. You told law enforcement after the alleged shooting that you told an attorney named Brian Hurwitz, and he told you to return to the scene and retrieve the gun casings. Is that right?
I don't remember, I don't remember something
Okay. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a recollection one way or another? Is that fair?
It was 3 years ago. You're asking me something I told somebody one time.
Okay, so you don't have a recollection, is that fair? Okay, let me just back and refresh your recollection, that's what we do. Hold on. Go ahead, report. Okay, Mr. Yeah.
What? No.
Lisa Marie, girl, I don't know. Oh my God, your picture's so cute too, Lisa Marie. I don't know how Rocky's gonna trade this.
I'm gonna show you something, Mr. Efron, see if it refresh your recollection. Just read it to yourself. When you're done, look at me.
Wow.
Am I supposed to be reading?
I'm gonna show you.
They just caught him in a serious lie because they caught him lying, saying he never shot a gun prior to this incident. And they found footage of him shooting a 9mm, which is the casing at issue, a month before. It does mind your business. They need to end. I'm gonna tell you strategically, they need to end on his testimony. When he's done testifying today, everybody needs to go home. This needs to be the last thing on the mind of the jurors for the weekend, period. And then they need to dismiss the case over the weekend. Darn near. They won't, but this needs to be the last type of testimony on their minds. These jurors will, yeah, that's what they need.
Now, what am I supposed to do?
Okay, no. So you're right. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is I'll ask you a question. My question would be, having read that, does it or does it not refresh your recollection that you told law enforcement when you went to, you spoke to law enforcement that you called an attorney named Brian Hurwitz and he told you to return to the scene and retrieve the shell casings? Does it refresh your recollection?
I don't think I'm allowed to tell you what I said with my lawyer.
No, that's true.
Just you know.
Answer the question.
I'm not asking you what you said to your lawyer, I'm asking what you said to your police.
This calls for a yes or a no.
What's the question again?
Sure.
Right. Once you tell us what your lawyer told you, it's fair game. But we can't ask you what your lawyer
You
told you.
called an attorney, Brian Hurwitz, that night, November 6th, 2021, and he told you
Hit that
to
like, y'all. We
return to
only
the
got
scene and retrieve the shell
88.
casings.
Hit that like.
He's asking, did you tell that to the police?
He was there with me. Right. I don't really remember. I don't remember. But the lawyer was there with me. And the
Of
police.
course you don't remember.
No, it's a different question, that's on November 8th, right? That's the reason.
Answer the question being asked, not the question you want to answer.
You just said the lawyer was there with you at the precinct, right? That's November 8th, sir. My question is, did you tell the police that on November 6th, your lawyer told you to go back to the scene and retrieve the case on November 6th?
Why would you tell me that on?
Is the answer yes?
I don't know, it's kind of confusing. I don't get what he's trying to say.
It's not what he's trying to say. Think of your yes or no.
I'm not trying to confuse you.
I mean, what you are.
What was the?
He keeps trying to figure out what he's getting at and wants to answer that question,
This was a
not the question on the floor.
call with the interview with the police.
The question is,
August.
did he tell the cops his lawyer told him to go back and retrieve the shell casings. Yes or no?
And you understand my question, Ron?
Do you
Wait,
know,
what's your
do you know Brian Hurwitz?
Yeah, that was my lawyer, my previous lawyer.
And right after the shooting, did you call him?
I had my business partners reach out to a few lawyers in LA.
Did you call Brian Hurwitz that night or the night of the shooting or the next day?
He responded the next day.
Did you speak to Brian the next day?
Yeah.
But you didn't speak to him that night?
No, I didn't speak to him that night.
So you didn't have.
All right, so now, you told me that you didn't speak to Brian Hurwitz until the very next day, which being November 7th. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's not that position. Yeah.
He's gonna ask you now about whether you did or did not make a certain statement to the police when you were interviewed.
Right.
That's all he's asking you. Did you tell the police that?
It's a yes or no question. The jury is going to be very irritated by this, by the way, guys.
Anyway, Ron, I'm just gonna ask this. I'm just gonna keep moving on here. So
You're ready to move on about whether you did or did not call Brian Hurwitz. If you don't need to
the record is
explore it, fine, I'm good with it.
I think you just established you didn't have a lawyer that night on November 6th at 10 or 11 or midnight. You didn't have a lawyer yet,
But
right?
after the shooting, no.
Okay. So you would agree it wouldn't make sense that a lawyer would tell you to go retrieve shell casings that night because you didn't have a lawyer yet. Agree? You agree?
Not going to agree.
I don't get what you're saying.
Yes, Tiffany, that's what he's saying he did. This is exactly
Based on what you
what he
just
said,
said, you
Tiffany.
agree, therefore, that a lawyer did not tell you to go back and retrieve the shell casings.
I don't know what a lawyer told me. It was so long ago. Oh, no, I didn't.
Yes.
No, I didn't speak to him. I didn't speak to him, yeah.
They're trying to catch him in a lie. That when he told the cop, a lawyer told me to go back and get the casings, he was lying because you would not have had a lawyer that quickly. It's too soon. It just happened. You don't have no lawyer. You went back and got the casings because you wanted to go back and get casings. They also just established less than a month before this, he was shooting.
But you didn't report this to the police until November 8th. The incident happened on November 6th. Do you agree with that?
It happened November 6th at 10 o'clock at night, so it was like basically a new
Correct,
day. I was waiting
correct.
for a lawyer to respond before I take any.
Hold on. You're not answering the question. that you asked.
Y'all hit that like button, please.
Is this gonna call for a yes or a no?
I'll even be more specific. You agree the altercation happened on November 6th, 2021 at about 10:17 p.m. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you didn't make the police report in person until November 8th at 7:20 p.m. Right?
Yeah, I was waiting for my lawyer.
You were asked by detectives when you went in there why you waited to contact the police for 2 days, and you said it's because I'm not really good with the police. You remember saying that?
Yeah, I don't really like the police. I don't even like being here right now, to be honest. It's just nerve-wracking.
Why so are you not good with the police?
It's not that I'm not good with the police. I just don't, I don't know.
Well, you told the police I'm really not good with the police. That's what you told them.
I mean, I don't think anybody wants to walk into a police station.
It's a different question, just that. You told the police that you're
Yeah.
really not good with the police.
At this point, objection relevance is
You might ask them, why did you wait 2 days? You might be able to tell you now why you waited almost 48 hours.
I can tell you what.
Just.
But the police
I'll
asked that
explain this
question,
on a break,
that was
yours
the next
truly.
one. That's what I said. They said, why did you wait 2 days? He said, I'm not really good with the police.
That's what he said then.
Yeah.
You can ask-
Is that still the same answer?
Well, no, I waited 2 days because my lawyer, I told you that, and it's in text message. So I was waiting for a response from the lawyer going to the precinct.
Well, before you went to the precinct, those first 2 days, You try to get money from Rocky, right?
Woo!
And it's in Rocky that you're just looking for money,
No,
his manager,
no,
you sure?
positive.
And do you remember, it was shown to you here, that text message, we have 63, or, and I don't know the people's number, but you want to put up 63, Paul? I'm not sure. Okay. It's just a text that was put up, couldn't have it, sure. Seems,
Is this something that the jury's already seen?
yes, sir.
Parker's boy. Agreed, Faith. Absolutely agreeing.
We'll just use the people's.
The judge is trying to help to get it moving. Otherwise, they get stuck in areas and it's going to take even longer.
We have, all right, we'll put ours, we'll put
They
ours.
did. They released the text earlier today, including text that he deleted,
Exhibit J is People's 21,
Or-
whichever is exhibit care.
or actually yesterday.
Well, here's some black. If you want to use yours, well, it's here, you have the force here. Here. Okay. This is already evidence strong. This is People's Strong One. Okay, hold on to do this thing. Okay. You saw that text message from Rocky to you at 12:46 a.m. the next morning, November 2nd, right? You've already seen that in this case.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to extort.
Don't.
Oh.
I just want to know.
Okay, all right, just want to make sure that it doesn't get mistakenly.
He's not allowed to call him an extortionist.
Now you're trying to extort and talk about I shot you and shot 4 times and all types of nonsense. You're a phony. You don't have the best intentions. Stop texting me. Stop calling my manager and call police if I shot you. You weirdo. You remember seeing that text from Ron, correct?
Yeah.
And he got that point, correct?
Exactly.
He received it at that time, right?
Yeah. At what time?
Exactly, Angela. You did it.
12:46 a.m. Right here. It says right there. And part of the reason you said that you contacted the police is because Rocky persuaded you to do so, right?
You didn't persuade me. What you mean?
It's not what do you mean. It's yes or no. This is
See,
not a
one of the reasons
conversation.
you called the police is because of this message from Rocky telling you to call the police. Is that one of the reasons you called the police?
No, I was gonna call him regardless. I was waiting for the lawyer. He texted me that while I was already waiting for the lawyer. That's the next day.
Okay, Your Honor, I'm going to the preliminary hearing, correct? I believe it's page, bear with me a second, I believe it's page 111.
Say it again?
I believe it's page 111. Lot 9. Well,
Fair game.
okay. Question to you, sir, under the preliminary hearing. Was that the advice, by the way, that you said Rocky gave you that caused you to call the police, referring to that text message? Answer by you. It was numerous ones, but yeah, that was one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was one of the reasons.
Yeah.
And before you reported this incident to law enforcement, you understood that the only way your lawyer would take your civil case is if you went to the police, correct?
Not true.
Not true.
Oh, Angela made this point.
Wait, can you repeat that again?
Oh, you want to think about it.
Before you reported this incident to the police, you understood that the only way your lawyer would take your civil case is if you went to the police.
What lawyer? Brian?
Any lawyer. Stupid.
What do you mean? So he told me he will only not. That didn't happen.
Okay.
Okay. As a civil attorney, I can
And
tell you that.
a crime was committed already. So anything legally,
Mr. Efron, all he asked you was.
Yes or no?
For yes, or a no, or I don't know, or I don't recall. Ask the question
I'm
again.
gonna ask it again.
Let's get a response to that.
Before you reported the incident to the police, you understood that the only way your lawyer, Brian Hurwitz, would take your civil case is if you went to the police, correct? Or no?
I mean, I asked him, can I just get a civil suit, I believe, and it's a crime. So that's obvious no. I didn't press charges.
So he told you the only way he would take your case.
He didn't tell me the only way. I asked him. I'm asking questions.
You're on page 134, line 25, 135, line 6.
And it was so long ago.
Got
I
him.
don't remember what I talked about with Brian.
Got him.
Page
134, 134, line 25. 135, line 6. I'm
This is,
sorry, 134,
wow.
line 25.
Wow.
135, line 6.
This is huge. He really acknowledged he really just wanted a civil case. So if they would have paid him his money, we wouldn't be. He volunteered that. Instead of just sitting there and saying yes or no to a yes or no question, he volunteered the fact that he told the lawyer he just wanted a civil case.
Question. When did you first meet Mr. Hurwitz? Answer by you under oath when they were hearing him at the police station. Question. The day you made the report? Answer no.
This is crazy.
Answer. The day, so I had my assistant reach out to a bunch of attorneys, and I was waiting to hear back from whoever was gonna answer. So then once Brian answered, we spoke for a little bit, and he advised me that the only way he would take this case is if I go to the police department, because it was a crime. You recall me that answer under oath?
I mean, I guess.
Everybody need to go home. End it on that. You got it. You got it.
We talked about that individual, Wally Sajemi, who you said you knew, correct?
Pachico, let's go.
Who?
Wally Sajemi. Wally.
Wale?
The guy, the IT guy, right?
Mhm.
You know who Wally is, right?
Is that yes?
I said it.
Did you, tell Wally in August of 2022 that you can't sue someone with circumstances like that without a criminal action?
That's
You said
right.
that to Wally.
We
I mean,
won't
that's
take.
clear. You can't sue somebody and say it's a crime.
Somebody's asked, he's asked you, did you tell that to Wally?
I don't remember. This dude probably was baiting me, calling me. I don't know. Got a spoof of his voice.
So the answer is no?
No.
I'm sorry, I just want to follow up on that answer. The dude was making you, calling you, did you say?
I mean, you telling me about private conversations that I had with this dude.
I'm asking, I'm not telling
I mean,
you. Did you say spoof?
the phone call you played yesterday was not me.
That was not you.
That was not me.
That was fake.
That was fake. 100% fake.
You would agree, sir, that you really didn't care about getting the police involved in this case. What you really wanted was money from Rocky, right?
This is not a civil suit.
Yes or no.
Yes or no question. Ask the question again.
Can you ask the question again?
Sure. You agree that you really don't care about getting the police involved. Your end game was to get money from Rocky, right? Yes or no?
No, I wanted some type of protection too. He was not giving me no type of comfort that this was not gonna happen again, nor, so regardless, I was gonna go to
So
the
the
police.
answer is no?
No, I was gonna go to the
The
police.
answer is no.
Yeah.
Well, did you tell Wally in April of 2022, I don't give an F about no police and word? You said Wally.
What's the contents to that? What is that about?
Yes or no? That's
About this case.
But you just
Here's the
not,
thing, the
what are you
state-
talking about?
it's who allows him to give context, not on cross. Cross
I'm
is
asking if
always
you made a
personal.
statement to Wally.
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't,
Objection
Question.
foundation.
Stay, stay.
Okay. Did you tell Wally in April of 2022 that the end game is you're gonna sue the shit out of Rocky?
when, if I already have a civil suit and this dude's calling me, I'm openly telling him I have a
Yes
civil
or
suit.
no?
Somebody's asking. Please listen to his question.
I don't know. I
I want you to
know.
listen to his question, and then you can say, I don't know, or I don't remember, or yes or no. Mr. Tacopina, can you re-ask that?
Correct.
Sure,
It's-
sure.
Civil is only money. That's it. Nobody goes to jail.
2022, did you tell Wally the end game? I'm suing the shit out of Wally.
I don't know.
Your Honor,
You would know that.
We're in a position where I'd like, same procedures yesterday, I'd like to show the witness this first. It's, the screenshot of the recording I'll ask them to do it. I'm gonna do the same exact procedure. I did
Show that
yesterday.
first.
Yeah.
The state could not have possibly like pre-interviewed him and thought this guy would be good on the stand. Are they nuts? But then this is also the same court that let Kelsey from Megan Thee Stallion get up there and have amnesia and be the star witness. Wow.
Okay, Your Honor, we're trying to, we're publishing
But we won't publish no matter
a
what.
phone number. We will
No phone numbers to be shown to anybody.
We will stipulate that the photograph that counsel wants to show to,
Louder, louder, louder.
oh, the counsel wants to show the witness would be his, the witness's phone.
Yes.
We will stipulate that.
You want to see? I'm just gonna show this to the witness, you don't have to read it. Let's do a
Thought
stipulation
Rocky would
first.
just pay him and it would go away.
Turn away. Sure.
He did not expect this to go to trial at all.
Again, don't.
Especially not no trial that was going to be on national TV. If he knew it was going to be on national TV, he wouldn't did it. He wouldn't have did it. Nope.
Tell you the truth, I don't know what y'all got going on at this point. Like you gotta, I don't know what's going on. If that's not coming from you, I don't know. I don't know what you're doing.
Okay, well,
Yeah, counsel, you gotta stick.
I need some broad, like,
Photo.
okay.
We're
That's a
stipulating.
We have a stipulation that that's the number for Mr.
Yes.
Efron.
All right. The stipulation is that you've shown Mr. Efron the screenshot. There's a phone number on the screenshot.
Correct.
The phone number is Mr. Efron's.
Correct.
All right. Is that the stipulation?
Yes, that's stipulating.
Now, as procedurally we did yesterday, I'd like you to listen to this and tell us if it's in. Okay,
Yes.
gotta get some help somehow. Yeah, but-
Right, Sandy. His girl that's the prostitute of living. Based on yesterday's testimony. Or allegations, rather.
you don't have that one, do something, somebody will.
Your Honor, the witness is asking if we have headphones.
It's like right here.
We shut them, kill the mic.
Is that a normal, what kind of, plug is that? I have never had that before.
It's like a mini.
This one?
That's exactly how he feels.
Yes. They're not free.
You just deleted that thing. You did that purpose, Sean.
I think that the input is, yeah, on that side.
Okay. Guess they're not working, John.
Is the audio turned up?
Yes, please.
You want to try it, Alex? Star or judicial assistant? New audio. You want to try this?
Device detected.
Yeah, that will work.
We'll go new school, compliments of Alex. All right.
Thanks anyway, John.
Still doing it.
Your Honor, and the headphones headsets aren't working. We just did what we did yesterday. Keep it low, let them hear it.
Yes.
Start from wherever. Just like here.
It's fake. It's fake. Get that away from me.
He wants us to get that way.
Get it away from me.
No, get away. Get away. It's fake, you said?
It's fake.
So that's another fake recording.
That's another fake recording.
So that's not your
That's
voice.
not me.
Oh God.
You just said he's an IT guy.
Oh, so who are you talking about?
Your Honor, at this point, there's no foundation that can have.
Right, he says it's not him, he wants something else.
Well, did I inquire as to why he thinks it's not him, Your Honor? He said it's fake. I want to
Your Honor,
understand.
the question's been answered.
It doesn't, if he said it's not him, it doesn't matter why he's saying it's not him. He's saying it's not him. If you can prove otherwise, that it is him, then that you're entitled to do that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
In other words, the guy can sit
So
there and lie and be
ultimately,
like,
filed a
nope,
lawsuit
nope,
against
not
Rocky
me.
in 2022.
And unless you have an expert, a voice expert, you got to move
Yes,
along.
no, I don't remember. Did you file a lawsuit against Rocky?
Yeah.
Okay. You know what year you filed a lawsuit against Rocky? Okay. And the lawsuit hasn't been resolved and it's still pending, right?
Correct.
And in that lawsuit, you accused Rocky of assault, correct?
You would have to ask my lawyers. I'm out of headaches.
Don't you have the complaint?
Your Honor, counsel,
We thought that was an, we agreed that the causes of that, that the document that shows the causes of that was.
He was being,
No, I did. I thought
he
it
was
something
listening
with
to
it.
an audio call between him and another guy where he told the other guy he was going to sue the shit out of Rocky.
complaint filed on August 10th.
Can you stipulate what the causes of action are alleged to be? Okay, say it loud enough. In fact, it would be easy on all these stipulations, if they could be printed, marked as an exhibit, and then the jury could look at them if they want to during deliberation.
All right, I'll read it down to your letter. First cause of action, assault against all defendants and those. Second cause of action, battery.
You have to raise up the volume a little bit. It's hard to hear you.
Okay, General, no problem, I'll break it up. Second cause of action, battery against all defendants and those. Third cause of action, intentional emotion.
Yep.
Intentional emotion.
Said it was fake.
Intentional infliction of emotional distress against all defendants and those. Fourth cause of action, negligence per se, against all defendants and those.
Now, and just also to have a stipulation that the only main defendant is Rocky Mayers.
Yes, well, it says Rocky, Mayor, and Doe's 1 through 15 defendants.
Do you have claims against anyone else, by the way, aside from Rocky? In this lawsuit, you know, for assault and battery and all that, okay. Now, in your lawsuit, you claim that as a result of the defendant firing the handgun at you, you were struck by a bullet, projectile, or fragments which required you to seek necessary medical attention. Is that true?
That's correct.
Now, you understand that's different than what you told the police in this jury, that you believe your hand was raised.
Your Honor, this would be sustained.
Now, you assert that the bullet projectile that hit your hand, according to your civil suit, required you to seek necessary medical attention.
Your Honor, it's improper impeachment. This is a civil suit, so I'm not filing it. Any further questions, Jerry?
What the causes of action are, the jury has heard, that's the relevance of it.
I didn't want to run afoul of court's ruling. I want to ask, there's another question I want to ask regarding the permanent damage alleged. What is that?
Your Honor, our position would be,
Stop. You can ask him if he has any permanent damage. It doesn't matter what it says in there.
No, I'm
Is there any permanent damage as a result of the injury received supposedly on November the 6th?
you know, just make the equal have no objection to any questions of the witness regarding his knowledge of what he's doing. Our issue is going back to what is in the complaint.
I agree.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I agree.
So my question, if I could follow the court's guidance. Has this incident caused permanent physical damage to you?
Yes.
Okay. What is the permanent physical damage that it has caused to you? Get up the lawsuit.
I mean, just look at it. I like to live in hell. Besides me doing what I'm doing, I can't really.
Okay, that's not what he's asking. Ask again.
Sure. What is the permanent physical damage that this incident has caused to you? The permanent physical damage?
No, there's no permanent physical damage. I just was hurt at one moment.
So if someone wrote
No,
on your
no.
head, no,
No.
okay, right. We're gonna
All
show,
right, the objection would be irrelevant or hearsay?
The objection be irrelevant.
All right,
You're saying-
sustained.
you got on the first one, that's fine.
We've asked it no more questions in this area. He reports ruling, Your Honor, when Mr. Crackby says, hey, I tried.
We don't lose speaking objections.
No,
No, stop. If a question is asked and you think it's objectionable, lodge an objection.
get the court instructed Mr. Crackby.
No, I'm not.
All right.
Okay, we're on number 7, Your Honor. If you recall yesterday's ruling, 7 photos were on number 7 now. We've all looked at this already. The Honors looked at it, they looked at it, we're good, we're ruled. So I'm gonna show you one last post from your Instagram,
We
Mr.
didn't mark this.
Efron. We did not mark the
Okay.
target.
This can be O's and O's.
Okay, we finally got those. Now,
Your Honor, given the witness's statement that there's no permanent physical damage, what would be the relevance of this photo?
we weren't ruled yesterday about the evidence.
This is also July of 2022. What would be the relevance of this photo?
The objection is overruled. It will be shown to Mr. Efron.
Okay. That's obviously your.
Shannon.
Right? So,
Yep.
Okay.
Lawyers that do that.
it was okay, yes.
He's probably raising certain
Sure.
things because he's already ruled
Okay.
certain stuff
That's the
cannot be
left
admissible.
hand.
Who's following that?
that was injured by the gunshot.
By the grades, yeah.
By the way,
Horribly unsympathetic.
you see, as you sit there, you see any,
I mean, I can go around and show everybody right now. I still got it 3 years later. I'm not showing from a far picture. I still got it.
Answer the question.
No, I can't see it right there. I can't see it.
they get up, next to whatever question, okay? All right. Now, you take it.
Just so you know, we're gonna break in 3 minutes. So I wanna
Yes,
get-
praise God.
Everybody else
3 minutes.
kind of stretch their legs, et cetera.
Trying to avoid an objection and save you some time.
Oh, I got all day. I'm fine.
The-
Are you gonna go to a different topic?
Probably the person he was on the phone with recorded it and then gave it to
Just a
ASAP.
second, you know, you're gonna go to a different area?
Mike?
No, right now.
Has he admitted
I
as to
think-
how
give me
much
one
he's
second.
doing
I have
for
one or
it?
two
Have
more
they covered
questions.
that?
This is not.
All right, when you're finished with this area, we'll take a break.
Not a break. It's go home. Please don't break it.
I have one more question on this regarding his frame of mind, and then we're done with the civil lawsuit. How can you object before you said?
You showed the question.
No, it's different.
Oh, okay.
I know you will object. I'm asking for your understanding, Mr. Everett, on your frame of mind. Is it your understanding, your frame of mind, and again, I just want your understanding, not the law or anything else, that if Rocky is found guilty here, you get an automatic finding of liability in your civil case?
I have no knowledge about that.
Okay. We can break now.
All right, folks, we'll take a break till 3:15. Please don't discuss the case.
3:15. Okay, that's like a 15-minute break. Hold on. Y'all, we got to chit chat. We got to chit chat. So, all right, so it's just a 15-minute break right now. At the moment. Yeah, it's just a 15-minute break. Y'all done work that part. Hey, Mims. Mims says, I still think Rocky is guilty, but you can buy your way out of anything these days. That's true. Yeah, the one thing for me that leans towards Rocky being guilty is the fact that it's supposed to be a fake gun, but you didn't submit it into evidence. For me, that would have been the best evidence. If it was in fact a fake gun, I would have been, well, let me think of it from two ways. As an attorney, there's two ways you can play it. As his lawyer, I'd say, all right, this would be taking a gamble. Now, if I feel like, no, I wouldn't submit it into evidence. I'm going to tell you why. If there's a way that I legally could. Now, it's my understanding you have to submit to the other side like anything in your, well, if they were to subpoena it or, submit a subpoena and you have it, you have to submit it. Here's one instance where I would not. That would be because of the fact that the way that they revealed their prop gun defense late in the game, it has prevented the defense from going to the court and saying, hey, we want him to be charged with assault with a semi-automatic, and they could have included lesser offenses. Right now, it appears he's only on the hook if it's assault with a semi-automatic. But if they had previously given the prop gun, then I guarantee you the state would have charged him with assault with a semi-automatic and just regular assault and aggravated assault. See, aggravated assault, there is an aggravated assault that you can be charged with. That just means there was a weapon. It doesn't have to be semi-automatic. Like if you were used to a bat, or some people use a car, hit somebody with a car, or some people, pick up a bottle and hit someone. So aggravated is I've assaulted you and I picked up an object and used it. So by preventing them from knowing, hey, it's not semi-automatic, it prevents them from also charging him with other forms of assault that he actually could have been found guilty for. So simply here, he is guilty of assault. There's no question of that. Because whether it's a real gun or a fake gun, it's still assaulting the person. Unless you can prove that the person knew that it wasn't no real gun. But it's assaulting the person if you're putting them in fear, because assault is a fear of an immediate injury. But here, the fact that the pow is missing, which means they couldn't bring it into court and say, really, is this what it looked like? Or ask the other two guys that were there, hey, is this what it looked like? And have them say yes or no or whatever. Is real convenient. Yeah, yep. Abidishan, you said it's real convenient. Thanks, Chelsea Nicole. Love you too, girl. Love you too. Now, I had to step away a minute and give my daddy his keys. Did you guys hear? I did not hear him acknowledge one way or another whether it was 30 million that he's suing for. Actually, I think he just played dumb. As far as when they asked about the amount. Thank you, Shannon. Or if they discussed how much he was suing for. Can you guys confirm in the chat if you heard him say one way or the other how much money he was suing for? I believe in the opening, they said it was $30 million. $30 million. They are coming back. We're on a break right now. Should be coming back at 3:15. 3:15 Pacific, which would make it 5:15. Oh, no. I've got an email from a TV show. I'm like, I ain't doing no more dating shows. I'll tell you that much. Hold on a second. Yeah. Hold on. I still got to run a firm in between all of this. Sorry, guys, I had to answer those questions. But it said, I see. What does Cheryl say? Cheryl always got good points. He's working out every day. He's working out every day on Instagram. His hands don't look damaged. Can somebody drop his IG in the chat? I need to see. While we're on break, let's go look at his Instagram. Mims in the house. Happy belated birthday, Mims. Thank you for not inviting me for any of your celebration. The only reason why my feelings aren't hurt is because I'm not in town. Oh, yeah. So, Ms. Hampton, let me also break this down for you. A lot of people are asking, I've seen in the chat, drop any questions that you have. I'm going to go through while we're on break, and that's when I like to answer these questions. One common question is, how come he really hasn't been designated as a hostile witness? Here's why. You can only do that when it's direct. So if they are your own witness. So in the case of Megan Thee Stallion, where Chelsea was the key witness when the state was interviewing her, they were able to do that at certain parts, because once that happens, you are then allowed to lead your witness. So here, the state could have asked the judge to determine that Relly was a hostile witness, which then would have enabled them to lead him in the questioning. Now, they did lead him anyway. But here, the defense has to do what they're doing. And the thing of it is, these people want to go home. They're annoyed and they got better things to do, as in the jury. So it doesn't win Relly any favor with them by refusing to answer yes or no questions and responding to yes or no questions with a soliloquy, as he keeps doing. Is it normal for a judge to raise it? The judge has been intervening a lot. Now, the judge is intervening a lot to force Relly at this point to answer questions and to stop his soliloquies. He's also intervening because he's made certain rulings at the outset of things they're not supposed to be talking about. So he is interjecting himself to prevent a mistrial in many instances. So like you saw, there was a one text message put on the screen where Topo Chico, that's what we're calling ASAP's lawyer, because it's actually Taco Cabana, whatever it is, not Taco Cabana, but pretty close. Mr. Taco was asking, he put the text message on the screen and then said, this was you attempting to extort. Well, the judge previously made a ruling that said you cannot refer to Relly as an extortionist. However, because Relly volunteered that he is not only suing ASAP, but also suing ASAP's attorney for defamation, that opened the door to actually say that he's extorting ASAP and the lawyer. So he was able to say extort in that instance. He just couldn't call him an extortionist. So the judge was basically trying to make sure he didn't accidentally violate the rule. Because what happens is when you violate rules like that, they can be so severe that it causes a mistrial. And that's absolutely what this judge wants to prevent. And I'm going to tell you right now, if there is a hung jury here, hung jury meaning at least one person says not guilty and everybody else says guilty. If there's hung, they're not trying this again. They are not trying again. So I just answered this one, yours truly. That was a great question. I want to make sure I got it right. They are not trying this again. If it don't come together. Thank you. Breaking down the case down. I work from home and this has been entertainment as I work. He needs to fire his team and hire you. I know your ish. Thank you. Yeah, I like watching trials, but I don't like they can be kind of boring and slow. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. True Hebrew says, look at day one. He wasn't dusty, but he was not tight. Check it out. He looked nicer day one. Day one. I think we were all kind of surprised he didn't have on a suit. He had on activewear. Now I'm older, and so I'm gonna kind of take what I can get to some extent. But when I was younger, when I was in my 20s, I was like, oh, he's wearing activewear in the middle of the week. Like, it's business hours. Why is he wearing a windbreaker? Ooh. And he's had one on at court every single day. So that's why I think it was Sandra said he needs to pack it up and take all 4 of his little outfits and go on home. And Relly was not in fear. That was another one of the key points that was hammered on today, is that Relly was not in fear. Now, what kind of questions, put in the chat, what types of information would you like answered on cross-examination when we get back? And they better finish today. So they have until 6 Central, basically, because court ends at 4:00 every day. The reason they do that is because then they can use, if they need extra time, they can dismiss the jury and argue any motions that need to be argued. Yeah, the missing pow here. I want to see some discussion on that. Now today, again, they're going to finish up with Relly. And then my guess is next week, they're going to have the ballistics expert give some testimony. Yep. True Hebrew said Relly was not in fear. He was running after Rocky. What about 12E who brought a knife to the fight? He didn't sue him. The current lawsuit, as it read, it said John Doe's 1 through 12. So with John Doe, that means you might be including other people that you haven't named. Well, whose identities you're unaware of. Well, they're clear about the identity of him. They know 12E's identity. That's his buddy. He identified him. He's always known him. And honestly, I believe now the statute of limitations may have expired. Well, it's 3 years. Yeah. He can't sue anybody else for that incident. That happened November of 21. The state of California gives you a 3-year statute of limitations, which meant anybody else he was going to bring into that lawsuit, including 12E or anybody else, he would have needed to add by November of last year, to November of 2024. Welcome said, I don't think Rocky's guilty. I believe something happened, but I don't think really got grazed or was pow by that prop gun, and that he wasn't in fear or fear. Yeah, it's for those who think Rocky might be guilty. How do you explain oh boy after allegedly injuring his hand and noticing one had a gun and one had a knife chasing after them? Because if my hand's injured, what the hell am I gonna do when I catch you? Get beat up? Is that what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna run, catch you, and let you beat me up. I don't understand. Yeah, pointing and discharging a pow. Also, it is kind of cheesy to be walking around with a prop gun if that's what you're doing. It just sounds real stupid. I want to know if the girlfriend's going to be called in. Doubtful. He doesn't know what his girlfriend looks like, and how is he going to say he knows what the gun looks like? Yeah. Oh, the other bombshell today for me was when they sat up there, asked that man, did he own a gun? And he gonna say, I own lots of guns. Sir, you're not helping. Zip it. You're not helping at all. I own lots of guns. That is literally the opposite of what you should have said. If he, think of it this way, if he would have just said yes, the assumption would be he owns a gun. Now that he said lots of guns, the state is going to be introducing an expert who did some type of report that took those shell casings and determined what kinds of gun those casings came from. Well, they found that it could have come from a variety, like 5 or 6 different kinds of 9mm. So all they got to do is have Rocky's people just need to have their own expert to say, oh, he said he owns this, he said he owns that. Definitely could have come from any of those. In other words, Relly himself could have had those casings and planted them. He's mad Rocky don't mess with him. And guess what? This shows how much Rocky didn't in real life. Yeah, remember, because this all started over, he was upset because he thought that Rocky did not chip in to help one of their mutual homeboys who passed away, to help his family ship his body from LA to New York and help with the funeral. Although ASAP did. ASAP just didn't tell Relly that he did so. Why not? If I'm helping bury my friend Margaret, why I got to tell you, Kelly? Kelly, why you over here in this business? It ain't got nothing to do with you, because Kelly, you didn't have the money to participate, and that's okay. But you stay out of our business over here. Stay out. And that's what he was doing, because he also articulated that he felt that Rocky elevated himself and left the others behind, including in the beginning, like day one of testimony, he referenced how one of the other guys still lives in the projects with his mama, and that guy should not be living in the projects if ASAP was truly his friend. Let me tell you something, little stupid. Let me tell you something. Just because I make it does not make me responsible for you making it too. We have different gifts. And maybe people want to use them in different ways. So if his gift is rapping, first of all, it is not my responsibility to make ASAP. I'm going to tell you this. ASAP is handsome. ASAP has probably made more money from being handsome than he has from rapping. He's made a lot of mixtapes. He has a lot of streams, I think. But that's not how he makes the majority of his money anymore. It's other endeavors. And so he's not responsible for putting you on. You could be mediocre. You could be a mediocre. And now you almost 40. You could be a mediocre 40-year-old rapper. Get you something to do. Get you a skill. Why don't you take a coding class? Okay? Get your mama at the projects. Take a coding class. They have grants for that. Well, until Trump gets rid of them. Okay, Beautyism, great question. Would it still be guilty if he showed the prop gun but didn't shoot it? No, it's not guilty if it's a prop gun. So let me be clear. He's only guilty if it's a semi-automatic weapon, because the charge is aggravated assault with an automatic weapon. Now, your question might be, would it still be guilty if he showed the prop gun but didn't shoot it if the charge was simply assault? And the question is, if the argument is Relly knew it was a prop gun, then Relly wouldn't be scared. And no, it would not be assault. Assault, think of it this way. If I pulled out a banana and you could tell it was a banana and I pointed it at you, is that assault? No, because you know it's a banana and it's not going to hurt you. Similar. That's how that works. So it's only assault if someone is in imminent fear of harm. I'm not in fear of a banana. Yeah, okay, good. You heard 30 million too. I heard it a few times. Yeah, in the beginning. Why did Relly text someone about him becoming rich? That is part of the issue. Yeah. That's where they're talking about motive. Now Relly says he didn't say I'm gonna be rich. He said yesterday his emails said itch as in irritated. Something about that. But the call allegedly where he said it wasn't him, it was fake. Just like the other day, he was like, oh no, it's AI. It was for a different call or audio or something involving him or video. I can't remember. That was one. The one today was one where in the conversation with the person, he said he's going to take Rocky for all of his money. Okay, well, they put him on the stand. Y'all heard 30 million too. Oh, hold on 1 second. Oh, let me just put this. All right, guys, we need them to come on back. Here we go. We need them to come on back to do this. So we got the 30. Y'all heard 30 million too. If he asked for a reasonable, that's it, Cheryl. If he asked for a reasonable amount, Rocky would have paid him to go away. Yes, because I said this yesterday. I said, in here, a reasonable amount would be an amount that Rocky could afford. This is my hypothesis. I believe Rocky would not want to have to go to Rihanna and be like, man, I fucked up. I messed up. I shouldn't have did this. Hey, could you spot me this money so I could pay this guy off of the settlement? No, I don't think he'd want to do that. I think it would need to be an amount that Rocky could give him, pay him, whether it's a payment plan or otherwise, on his own without needing to go to his girl to help pay off the settlement. Yeah. What state did he file the civil suit? I'm not sure. It happened in California, so it should have been filed in California. And the defendant lives in California, so it should have been filed in California. As of right now, does it look like it's leaning towards guilty? I'm going to have to say not guilty. But that's because Relly is such a terrible, terrible witness. They're back. But if he were a better witness, it could be more even killed. This is terrible. Yeah, who carries a starter gun? Does he carry a starter? So the claim is that he got it off the set of one of Rihanna's videos, and that's why he carries one. He was instructed by someone, police or someone, to keep it for safety around his family. Now ASAP has what do you call it? He has a gun license, but I think at the time he did not and needed allegedly. He didn't have security with him at all.
Mr. Efron, did you, sir, ever ask any of Rocky's friends, associates, managers to pay you millions of dollars, for Rocky to pay you millions of dollars to make the criminal case disappear?
That's not even up to me, but I don't know. No.
The answer is no.
No.
And you never said, give me millions of dollars and I will go to an island that they can't prosecute you? Anyone?
And I'll go to an island.
Sure. You never said, give me millions of dollars and I will go to another island and they won't be able to find me to prosecute you? You never said that. Any of Rocky's friends, associates, managers?
I don't remember.
You know, you're aware that your lawyers made a demand for $30 million, correct?
It is 30.
I never knew the amount.
You never knew the amount, $30 million?
I said no.
No. Did you ever make a demand, you personally, for 30 M's or $30 million?
Like I said, I never seen an actual lawsuit. I never made a demand.
That's not what he's asking.
Did I make a demand to somebody? No.
No. I'm gonna ask you if you said the following to Wally Sajemi. Okay, just listen to me, tell me if you said the following. he, being Rocky, is going to have to deal with that and his political ties and everything else, because once I walk away, when I get my cash, the case gets way weaker. It's just like domestic violence case. If you hit your BITCH and your BITCH wants to keep going through with the situation, you'll go down. But if you're not there, then they're going against the state and it's way weaker. If I'm not there, if he pays me out, being Rocky, via through my lawsuit, I'll walk away basically. It's going to be hard for the DA to find me because I'm going to be on another island just relaxing. You get what I'm saying? They're going to be scrambling to find me because now they have to go against Rocky, the state. And yeah, they have evidence of this and that and the third, but it's not going to be the same when you present it to the jury and you don't have the complaining witness. Did you ever say that to Wallace Jenny?
No.
You did? No. Okay. So now we're going to do what we've done a few times already. I'm going to bring up a recording, let you hear it, and you're going to tell me if it's you.
Oh my gosh. Look at his face, y'all. Look at his face. Look at his face. He knows it's a wrap. He knows it's over, baby. It's over. Here's what was said. The stuff he just mentioned was recorded. There was a phone call recorded where he's trying to convince somebody to convince Rocky, give him the money, he'll take the millions, he'll run off. In the same way in a domestic violence case, if the victim's not available to testify, the case goes away. He said this
The same thing
to a mutual friend, and apparently that mutual friend secretly recorded him. In the way, look at his face. He's gonna say it's not him.
You can move it.
Here you go. You can move it. It's not me.
I'm sorry. Something happened.
No, it's not me. I heard it.
That's not him. You can say it. Okay. Literally under the law, under the rule, they have
How
to.
long was that recorded with you here?
Turn it up.
How long?
I don't know. She's played it. I heard
He
it.
said, "Turn it up."
Didn't
He
sound
said, "I
like
won't."
Didn't sound like you?
No.
Is that fake also?
I don't know. You tell me. You putting all type of fake stuff in front of me.
What fake stuff?
You know it's fake.
No, stop. Stop.
What fake stuff am I putting in front of you?
I don't know. You just do Wally. I don't know. You just keep putting this fake stuff in front of me.
Are you saying you don't know who Wally is?
Joa, you got it. You got it.
So are you saying
Not
you
real.
don't know who Wally is?
It's not real. I don't know him. I met him. I don't know of him. I know him.
Y'all,
But this is beyond me.
Have you used Wally doing work for you?
No.
You've
Asked
not-
him one time to get me verified. I told you that.
Okay.
He kept in conversation with me. Obviously, now I know why.
What do you mean now you know why? What do you mean now you know why? That's fake.
I thought it was kind of weird that the man would me up in the first place.
Mr. Efron, stop. Ask another question.
What did you just mean to this room? You said now you know why. That conversation.
I mean, he always hits me up, asking me how I'm doing. Yo, that's fucked up. You know, Rocky, y'all my brother. It's weird. He's baiting me. And to like
him.
spoofing my voice or doing something. Because now all of a sudden you're coming to me talking about why he's doing this, that, and the third, and none of the conversations I have with him. None of them don't even start like that. Don't even sound like that.
Wow.
He's more so asking, yo, how's the case going? Yo, that's fucked up. And I asked him, yo, you still work for Rocky? He said, no, I don't work for him. Ain't nobody really, no real emotional.
He said, "Ain't nobody getting no real motion off of Rocky."
So you've had conversations with Wally.
Not those conversations. I mean, he calls me. He calls me probably once a month, every 2-3 months, and asks me very vague questions. Oh, how's it going, my brother? Or what's this?
So really
you
just
didn't
said,
have- you
No.
said those conversations.
No, those is fake. Those is fake.
So you heard about 3 seconds.
It don't matter. How would you know? You over there. She's playing it here.
Because I counted 1, 2, 3. want to hear the whole conversation?
No,
Sure.
no, I just want this over.
Mr. Tech, he said it's not him. So go on.
Yeah, but they'll probably just bring in the other guy that was on the call. He'll be one of the
Never
witnesses.
heard that, right, Stefan?
If they bring in the other guy, they can play the
Yes, I
call.
do.
They cannot play the call because he said it's not him. They cannot play it.
And like you said to your partner, Justin Benet, November 7th, 2021 at 3:40 a.m. This is already in evidence, Your Honor.
After the shooting?
Yeah,
Okay.
November 7th, 2021 at 3:40 a.m. is after the shooting. You text your partner, Justin Benet, saying, I want to get this ends money.
Yep.
To burn the rock, correct?
Yeah, because I got damages. I'm suing him.
Yes or no?
Something in the morning, I already have a lawyer.
So the answer is yes?
Yes.
But you had a lawyer at 3 o'clock in the morning, hours after the incident?
I mean, I'm waiting for a lawyer. I'm telling him he's in DC. He's the one that I started shutout with, so I'm telling him. I mean, I could have said embedded contents, but yeah, I said it like that.
And of course, Rocky wasn't willing to pay you any money, right?
How would he be willing to pay me? It's not a case yet. It wasn't a case. I literally said what I
And
said
that's a
right
lie.
there.
All right, you've answered the question.
So instead of being on idle relaxing with 30 M's, 30 million, you're here in downtown LA. Right, Mr. Beckman?
You're here too.
I know I am. I know I am.
All right, you did,
Well, I have nothing further.
you don't need an answer to the question?
I don't need to answer that question.
All right.
Obviously,
Uh,
I don't really, I don't
So,
know.
wait. I don't know if the court just noticed.
Sounding me to answer that
Just
question.
walked away.
He done mollywhopped that man.
No, just, he has no further questions. Let's just move on. Ask, do you have anything for this moment?
I do.
Okay, now it's what's called redirect. So he is going to try and resurrect Relly's reputation as best as he can before 6,
All right, Mr. Efron, I want
4
to start
p.m.
on November
Pacific.
6, 2021.
which is
You said
in the next 30 minutes.
that you flew into town that day, correct? Or not that day, but for the recording session that occurred on that day.
Yes, you know,
You flew in a day or a few days before that, correct?
the day before.
And you said you flew on a commercial jet, correct?
Yes, those are,
You also said you did not have a gun with you when you flew on that plane, correct?
okay.
Did you bring any ammunition with you?
No,
Did you bring any fired cartridge cases with you?
no, I ain't own none of that.
Casings, those things that come out of the gun, you didn't have any of those with you that day?
No,
You said at the time you were living in New York, correct?
Yeah.
Even though you were living in New York, did you have a California driver's license?
no, never.
Did you try to purchase any ammunition in California?
No, never.
Your Honor, will the court at this point take judicial notice that you cannot buy ammunition in California?
It doesn't, it's not relevant. He said he didn't try to buy ammunition. That's the answer to the question, whether it is lawful or not lawful to buy ammunition in California, it's not relevant to the question. Go ahead.
You were shown a lot
They don't
of
want it
pictures
admitted
from
whether or not it's
your
lawful to buy
Instagram
ammunition
account, your
for him.
social media, correct?
in California. I'll explain.
You, at the time, did you have an Instagram account related to your career in the entertainment industry?
I didn't.
And what was the purpose of that Instagram account?
To promote the artist and my body of work.
Is your Instagram account supposed to be a factual documentation of your life?
Persona, you living through the internet.
So is it fair to say that even if you posted a picture with next to a private jet, that doesn't necessarily mean that's your private jet, correct?
You know, that wasn't my private jet.
So why is it then that you post photos of yourself with a private jet? So just take that as an example.
Thought it was cool.
Not necessarily conveying that you're swearing under oath that you own a private jet or regularly travel on private jets. Fair to say?
No.
Okay.
Wait, that's not fair to say?
Is that fair? Sorry. It's
I think it's police. I'll move on.
Why don't you re-ask the question?
Okay. If you
Seriously, he really could be. He
post
could.
a picture of yourself next to a private jet, by doing that, are you taking an oath and saying, that's my private jet that I own?
No, it's a different Wale. It's not our Wale. I thought it was the same. It's a different. They call him
No, it's not my jet.
Jamel. I don't think the real Wale is Jamel.
Would the same be true if you have a stack of money that you're holding in a photograph? Does that necessarily mean that that's your money?
No.
It's a Wale, but I don't think it's the same one, guys. I did look into that.
Is it just portraying a certain image online?
Well, what do you mean?
That it's not necessarily reflective of reality.
Yeah. Perception.
Okay. You were asked questions. Do we have the defense exhibit, Your Honor?
No, I think it might be the same Wale. Nope. It's spelled the same. It looks the same. I think it might be the same Wale. He's trying to redeem his reputation after the prior testimony we just been watching. Yeah, I think it is. If Wale set him up with a recording, so basically whoever he just said, oh, that explains it. He said something like that towards the end of his cross-examination. Relly did, feeling like, oh, that's why that guy used to be calling me. Look at ASAP. Feeling like, okay, that's why that guy would be calling me, checking on me, asking me about the case, asking me how I was going, because he was recording me. It's like it just came together. That's why he put his head down and was like, oh. But he also realized, I think he realized, baby, I'm cooked. Oh, you a honey baked ham in this beast. You are cooked, sir. You ain't gonna be on no island. Only island you might get to is like Guantanamo Bay or something. But you're not gonna be no place voluntarily. They're not gonna take you, sir. You're not gonna be able to afford it.
Between the victim and the defendant. On November 6, 2021.
Next to the.
He said this, that, and the third.
Whether it's a text, photo, a screenshot, I didn't take it down to the detail. Anything else? JKL. J is a text, K is a text, L is a text.
No, he gets the last word. Defense doesn't get to go again. Yeah, I think
So
he's cut.
C.
Could be Wale the rapper, right. He went to a gun range. They showed photo that he went to a gun range a month before this incident. First, they asked him, did you ever shoot a gun before this? He said no. Then they showed footage from social media or something of him shooting at a gun range, a 9mm. There are 9mm casings that he found and brought to cops. I say Wale. Y'all say Wale. No, it's Wale. Kiki, you'll be over here cutting up in the comments, y'all. I'm sorry. Comments are half the fun.
He is Paul.
Kiki said, we know you don't own a private jet.
There was a Pete, but it was withdrawn.
The prosecution team is angry. But see, here's the thing. They can't drop the case over the weekend. They can't do that. That would be like the admission of the most embarrassing defeat. They can't do that and won't. We're going to find out over the weekend which Wale it is, because it is spelled this way. But I think this Wale is now going to become a witness. So we'll find out. Wait, Kiki said. In other words, I lie online and in real life. Okay.
I just want you to have a chance to orient yourself to it. So that's what I'm asking.
It says, you got all these fake anonymous animosities
messages
towards
at the
me.
top here, these 4 messages you said were messages that were deleted off of your phone, correct?
Yes.
Now,
So with the subpoena, only the defense is going to pull in Wale. The state don't want Wale to come up there.
Can you
that
explain
doesn't
to
help
the jury,
their
I don't want the words in your mouth. Can you explain to the jury how it was that those text messages were deleted? What exactly did you do?
What do you mean?
Great point. Kind of
How did I delete them?
How was it deleted?
Oh, I just swiped over. I deleted it the same day I sent it. So the 6th, I sent it, and then I deleted it right after.
What did you delete?
These 4 text messages.
Only those 4 text messages.
Yeah.
So were there any messages between you and the defendant before that?
There had to have been.
I wouldn't know.
In 2020,
I wouldn't know
2019?
so long ago. I know.
There had to have been. He's trying to help you.
That's why the next one, see where you at.
Yeah, there were messages before that because you've known each other 16 years, stupid.
On the 6th.
Okay,
I'll be right now.
hold on. I want to make sure I'm clear on this point.
At this point, if I'm ASAP's attorney, ain't no way I'm gonna let you testify. We cooking, we rocking. Don't come up there and mess it up. You're not saying nothing. Just sit back in that chair with your earrings on. Lean back. Well, don't lean back. Don't lean back. Sit up straight. You get it. I thought it was so interesting that the judge recently told them
Next to it,
that they can't use the N-word anymore.
People's Exhibit 13. So you kind of see half of defense P, and on the right-hand side is People's 13. So, Mr. Efron, your version of the messages starts at WYA, correct?
Yeah, that was my text thread, basically.
So can you explain that to the jury, what you're talking about when you say that's a new text thread?
So basically, after you delete your message, unless that person texts you, or unless you text that person, yeah, that's a new message.
So when did you delete these 4 messages?
The same day I sent it to him.
When that day?
The 6th,
But when?
a couple hours after. Or probably,
After you sent them?
yeah, after I sent it to him.
So if you sent these at 10:30 in the morning, would you have deleted them at around noon, 1 o'clock? Is that what you're saying?
Objection to deleting.
Yeah, for sure.
Issue.
For sure.
So you deleted these 4 messages before you received the WYA text message, correct?
Correct.
You did not delete them after the defendant shot at you. Is that fair?
Yes, that's true. I didn't tweet it.
So on your text thread, when you say it shows up as a new message, that's the first message in your text thread, correct?
Correct.
It's not their turn yet, Miss Benny. They may. This is the state, all the state's witnesses. So that's how come we've only had 3. We had a cop, we had the 911 caller, and now Relly.
Extracted from your phone, the first message in your text conversation with the defendant is that WYA text message, correct?
Yes.
So there's no messages
Yes.
from November 5th back, correct? The first message is November 6th at 9:39 in your phone.
I'm sorry, I need just clarification. First message.
First
Yes.
message
Yes, Tiffany.
in that text thread.
First message, not the 5th one.
I said the first message is November 6th, so there's no messages from November 5th going back in time. Are you following what I'm saying? If it's confusing, tell me and I'll clarify.
Just say it.
This is the beginning of the text thread you had with the defendant after you deleted it, correct?
Yes.
So it wasn't that you went through the text thread
Correct.
and selectively
Right.
deleted things that you thought were going to make you look bad. You deleted the entire conversation.
The whole.
Yeah, I deleted it because I didn't like the way it looked on my phone, like what I was saying to him.
Just answer yes or no. Quit elaborating.
And then the first message you got that you kept was a WI, correct?
Yes, they wrote me the next day.
When you deleted those messages, were you trying to hide the fact that you had sent him rude messages?
No, I didn't care. I just was over the fact, over everything.
Your deleting those messages had nothing to do with the fact that he shot at you, correct?
No.
Because you deleted them before he shot
I
at you.
did it before.
Objection to leading on
That
it.
is.
It don't seem like they ever talk to him because he's just doing whatever he wants, saying whatever he want to say.
We already got the answer.
Thank you so much, Kira.
The answer's stricken.
Isn't it? His memory's just coming back. Oh,
Disregard the
because see, what it is he never lost the memory. He just knows if the state is asking it something,
Ask another question.
it's going to be something to help.
Is it common in your friend group, we can even narrow this down to the members or former members of ASAP, that there will be a certain amount of banter or rude messages exchanged between each other? Is that fair to say?
Well, with all the members?
Is that how you guys talk to each other? That's my question.
Yeah.
Have you called
Exactly.
other members a pussy? Is that, a pejorative?
Yeah.
A pejorative.
That wasn't something that you singled out to call the defendant. That is exchanged between members of ASAP, correct?
Yeah, I mean, the men always going through things.
I believe you said that you, on cross-examination, that you had also exchanged messages like that with Ills, but you said it's because you guys are like brothers. Is that fair?
Yeah, with Bari to have arguments with. You're gonna argue with your brother.
You testified that on cross that there was a period of time after the shooting that your name was not publicly associated as the victim in this case. Is that correct?
Correct.
Do you know when did that change?
When Jabari posted my car and said this snitch ass and word ratted on my brother.
Okay. And then you said that was on Instagram? Do you know approximately the date that happened?
That was the day Rocky got locked up.
Okay.
Back from Barbados, I believe, on the plane. And he was still in custody.
And after Jabari said that, did you see that recorded anywhere publicly?
It was everywhere.
What do you mean it was everywhere?
Literally everywhere. Every major little news outlet.
Okay. Your Honor, I have just an example of that on Article 22.
Is that a screenshot? What is it?
Yeah, I believe it is, yeah. Yes.
Oh, wait, are we done for the day? I think so. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. They'll tell us in just a second. It'll pop up on the thingy. Child.
I'm going to approach
There we go.
this yet to be numbered document. Do you recognize what you see there?
There we go. I'm about to say.
Yeah.
And what is that?
From New York,
What's no jumper?
and the outlet, like a media.
Okay.
It's 22.
Mr. Chairman, can you speak out just a little? Maybe the jury, I'm having a little trouble here.
I'm going to put it on the screen. You can see. So showing you what I marked as People's 22, you said this was a post from No Jumper, correct?
Yeah, correct.
On the social media platform formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. And this was one example of you being named as the victim associated with this case, correct?
Yes.
And if the date is marked as April 20, 2022, does that sound about the time that that happened to you? If you don't know the dates, that's fair, but
The days that what happened to me.
that you were named as the victim
Oh, yes.
publicly. And not only were you named as the victim in this case, but you were labeled a snitch, correct?
Yeah.
What connotations does that have
Okay.
in the rap world that you were a member of at that time?
All the situation.
I mean,
Poor thing.
you said like that?
Yeah, he's
Yeah, is that a
exhausted.
positive thing to be labeled a snitch?
No.
What does it mean?
It means you cancel. But it's kind of weird because I have my own theory about that.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to talking about your text exchange with John Iman, who was, you testified before, was Rocky's manager, correct?
Yes.
You're gonna have a 8-page document, we mark it April 23.
What is it?
Text messages with John Iman.
It's 8 pages of text.
It is.
Right through.
We haven't seen each other.
Well, they introduced the I'm getting ish, so
I understand kind of see this exhibit.
It's fine, you can talk. Go ahead and do it.
She's Sandy said, baby, pack your ish. It's over. Call ASAP to Ron and go home. Let these people go home for real. I think if there's ever a definition, and thank you so much, Sandra. Thank you for that super chat for real. Yeah, this is more in lines of a snitch, given that it appears he only called the police because that was the only way for him to get money. Like, that's literally the opposite of how you're supposed to use the police. You're not supposed to be able to use the police as a weapon to extort. Right. It's not, yeah. Tired. Yes, man, I'm tired. I do, but I mean, we saw on the video he got shot at. I just don't know if it was a real gun, a fake gun, or if the grade. I think he was shot at. I just don't think it caused the knuckle stuff. I do. And regarding the civil case, I think he deserves to not get paid simply because of how stupid he was, allowing himself to be recorded and or putting things in writing that would ruin your civil case. You are not entitled by virtue of birth to a civil $1 million verdict. And you can't go around screwing up a good case. Text messages. It looks like that's what he did.
First message is a little difficult, but we go down. Do you recognize what we see here? I know the numbers.
That was him. He looked 10 times better.
But do you recognize this to be your text messages with John, the person that you refer to as the defendant's manager?
Yeah, this is way a legit text.
Speaking to the mic.
Yes, I look like a legit text.
Okay. And you say that looks like a legit text because this came off of your phone, correct? And the reason why we have your phone is because you walked your phone into an NYPD precinct.
After
Is that
deleting
correct?
stuff.
Yeah,
You gave it to the police.
I did.
And you allowed them to make a digital copy of everything on your phone, correct?
I did.
Good job.
Do you know that that was all given to the defense too?
No.
Okay. You know that now?
Yes.
Right.
Your first message with John starts November
Marriott.
7th, 2021 at 12:04 in the morning. I know that actually it's a really small part to see, correct? Can you see that?
Yeah.
So we're talking, if that's your first message to John, that would be after the shooting, correct?
John is ASAP's manager.
And do you remember what it was that you texted him?
That right there?
Yeah.
First,
I know it's just an icon, but do you remember what it was?
picture of the bullet.
It was a picture, correct?
Yeah, well,
And then you texted him again, 12:04. Looks like a screenshot of a text message conversation, correct?
yeah, that's me and Rocky's conversation.
Okay.
Who said that man got an S curl? No.
You sent him another message. What did you say in that?
Rocky shot at me.
Rocky, shoot at me.
Right, Rocky shot at me.
Okay. 12:04 still. Your next message?
One bullet, raised my hand.
Speaking to the mic.
One bullet raised my hand.
One bullet grazed
my
my hand.
typo, you meant to say grazed my hand.
Yeah, I did a lot of technical on there.
Thanks so much, Heartstop.
You were sending these text messages quickly back to back to
Yeah,
back.
that's about
Okay. Then you sent him another photograph, correct?
yes.
Now we're at 12:12. So 8 minutes later. And then another photograph at 12:12, almost 12:13, correct?
Correct.
And immediately under that, you texted him at 12:13, this stills.
Let me see the top one. That must have been his.
Yeah, it was a photograph. It's not-
Okay, yeah. So that's so I showed him it was conversation, trying to like lure me in.
You took a screenshot.
It was conversation, showed him to let him know it was authentic, that this is real.
Okay. So now we're at 12:13, which would be what, 11 minutes after your first message. 12:15, 2 or 3 minutes later.
Good
What
point.
was the next message you sent to him?
They set me up.
He's much calmer now.
And then 12:16, 2 seconds after that message.
If I didn't grab it, I'd be dead.
Yeah, speak up.
Tired.
Well, can you read it one more time? Can you read that one, because it was hard to hear you.
If I didn't grab those, I'll be dead.
Again, at 12:16, you sent him another screenshot. I know it's hard to see, but was it all the missed calls?
Yeah, so it's cool.
All right, now we're gonna jump ahead in time from 12:16 to 12:37.
Thank you, Big Cam. It is looking good for him. Yes, it is. It is. It is.
12:37, you sent him another picture, correct?
Correct.
Then, again, 12:37, almost 12:38, you texted him. And finally, at 12:38, you sent him that text message that the defense showed you saying, "I'm getting itch," correct? Or "I'm get itch."
I meant to I'm getting irritated, or like get irritated.
It just must be irritated. But others
I understand
That
that.
didn't fit in the content.
think it's ripped, as in I'm getting ripped from off of this.
So what I'm asking is, that's,
Thanks so much, Hampton, for the super
that
sticker.
message was sent 34 minutes after the first message that you sent to John, correct?
John is the manager.
It says right there, yes.
And yeah, again, because you don't, as you sit here now, 3 years later, can you say that you specifically remember dates and very specific times? Okay. But if it says, if it's timestamped from your phone that that's when that happened, you don't take issue with that.
No, I'm gonna take issue if it came from my phone.
So when you texted him, "I'm getting itch" or irritated, that's over a half an hour after you sent him the first message, and he hasn't responded to a single one of your messages, correct?
Who, John?
Yes.
I don't know if he responded. I think he responded.
Did you see a response in there?
Is this just my text messages?
This is your thread with him. Did you see a response from him?
Do you have a response from him in there?
I'll approach. You can go through it. You tell me if you see a response.
Kind of remember 3 years ago.
I get it.
You want to get through right now, just so you check to go in, what's this answer? They don't like it, they tell the answer, and they go on, it's just not right.
That's no speaking objection.
Sorry,
Speaking
right,
objection.
sorry, leave.
So there's no question pending.
I think the question pending was, did you see a response from John?
No.
They already did. This is called redirect. So this is happening because they've already concluded the process. So no, they won't get another chance to cross them. This would be it. I think he was shot right hand and he's right-handed. Great point. You're over here
So
texting
John was to hit me, it would be somewhere down here or something.
with the same hand and just got shot. That's a lot of text. Great point.
He was. It would be under here.
If he was, I mean, I can show you what it looks like on the other ones.
Yeah.
There's a blue bubble.
Oh,
You
so
see
he'll
a
be,
blue bubble
no,
on
no, I
here?
know.
Great. Was that the context you were talking about? The when you were testifying earlier?
Say that again, please.
Sorry, I'll withdraw that question. It's meeting. The text message that you sent to Justin about wanting the defendant's money, was that sent before or after the shooting on November 6th, 21 at 10:17 p.m.?
It was after the shooting.
Oh. Yeah, I can stop there and we can go on to.
All right, we'll take the break now, folks. Please be outside the courtroom doors at 10:30 on Monday.
All right.
Please don't
Monday.
discuss the case over the weekend with anybody. Please don't review anything you see in the newspaper or online. Please keep an open mind. And have a good weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.
Okay. Let me say this real quick before we leave. As I was thinking about this in closing, y'all, today was wild. Today was wild. Unfortunately, they're going to probably ask him a few more things on Monday and then hopefully move on to somebody else. Allegedly, they're going to start 10:30 Pacific time on Monday. But it just dawned on me as I'm watching this. The way Relly feels like he needs to be the lawyer, he needs to do the job of the lawyer, he needs to collect the evidence, he needs to do all of this. I don't think it ever dawned on him that he could have won a civil suit under the exact same grounds without even being grazed by the bullet. Being shot at is sufficient. And if he would have done that, he would have won. Here's why. Whether it was a prop gun or a regular gun, one thing was for sure. On that video, we heard audio of 2 shots. He could have stuck with, I was shot at and I was in fear of my life. It didn't touch me. I was shot at. And by complaining about being shot at and telling the police, I was retaliated against, and now I'm being blackballed. Now, he wouldn't get 30 million. Hell no. But it's still good enough to have a case. Hold on. I'm just make sure we don't miss it.
Anything on the record? No. Mr. Kaplan, anything to know?
I think they're just chit-chatting, but let's see. There go Relly.
352?
It's clean sweep. It's clean sweep. There are no.
Excellent.
I don't think they know the cameras are still on.
All right.
There we go.
10:30.
Right. So my point is, under the law, it still would have been assault. Rocky still could have been charged with assault, and Relly still could have succeeded on a civil case without claiming that this knuckle injury was the grazing. I think he was making something up. I think he thought he needed a physical injury for someone to take the case. No. If as an injury attorney, if you can get me footage of someone shooting at you, especially all I even needed to see, I see the weapon in the camera. That would have been sufficient. He didn't have to go up there and do what I believe was a lie, claiming that the knuckle bleeding that we saw was the injury. I just don't. Well, let me see your thoughts. Yep. Look at the lawyers laughing and talking like the President Obama. That's funny. I bet the judge couldn't wait to leave. The chat was lit today. Good to see you, Cheryl. I think it was a Friday. I think we're all chilling. We were like, let me see. Relly's gun injury gave me flashback from Amber Heard's so-called cut and bruises. Ooh, so true. They're not quite done. I think the state wants to try and help resurrect him a little bit more on Monday. But after the state does that, he should be done. I don't anticipate that they'll be able to recross him unless something absolutely egregious happens. Hit that like before you leave and hit that subscribe as well. So obviously, True Hebrew says, obviously his hand wasn't really injured. Yeah, you can lead. He is leading him. How's that allowed? No. He's not allowed to lead. But if they needed to designate him a hostile witness, that's the only time they could get him to lead. I think, honestly, everyone was tired. And the stuff that he was leading him to clarify was stuff that, like, the cross-examination already had closed it up. So now it's the weekend. This is the last thing that's going to be on the jury's mind. And I'll be back on Monday. See you guys then. Y'all have a great weekend. Hit that subscription and hit that like button on your way out.